to a horrible time for Bitcoin. Down almost 3% today, plunging as low as $18,250 on Bitcoin. Are new lows ahead? Are we going to be going down and testing that 17,600 level, or will we bounce from this critical level? We're going to cover off the key elements in the charts. We've got a big FOMC meeting starting tomorrow, lasting for 2 days. We're going to cover off what are the implications of that, what am I doing in this market, and what do we need to watch out for next. So make sure you hit up the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. As always, check out the links in the description to BYBIT or BitGet if you want to buy any crypto and take advantage of this crazy volatility. Because one thing we know we like as traders is volatility, and we're getting that right now with the Bitcoin price. Now, as you can see here on the hourly chart, we were kind of chilling around the 20,000 level. We spoke about how this is a critical level, but it's unlikely to hold. And you guys know that I've said for a while now that we're going to come down and test this 18,700 level. And we did exactly that overnight here, tumbling down, breaking straight through the resistance level, falling as low as 18,200 before people started coming in and buying the dip. And buying the dip is exactly what we're seeing now. But what are the wider implications? Will you get caught up in this green and start trading this now? What do we need to think about in this market? But before we do that, we need to understand what happened, right? And let's zoom out here on the 4-hourly. You can see it a little bit clearer, right? We had our initial bounce there, went all the way to the top of the channel, fell down after CPI, consolidated again around 20,000, exactly as I said, and then we broke down to the downside. Now, why was this so predictable? It's predictable for many, many reasons, right? We were monitoring this just yesterday. We were talking about how we're very, very likely to go test 18,700. I shared with you guys the VPVR. What did I say? The point of control is around this area. Once we fight through this area, the fall is going to be quite fast and sharp. Those were my exact words, and you saw that quick, sharp fall. If you had your limit orders ready around this order, you get to buy Bitcoin at 18,200 today. What a great price. What a great price point. But are we going to be heading even lower? Well, there's a few things I do want to share with you. Let's get a slightly tidier chart here. And I do want to bring out the Bollinger Bands. And if you bring out the Bollinger Bands, first of all, you can still see my drawings from the last video. That's played out exactly as I thought, right? You saw us consolidating around the middle of this VPVR. We didn't seem like we had the strength to go to the top of the VPVR. Therefore, very likely the next level is the bottom of the VPR. And look where this wick finished. That 18,200 level is right at the bottom of the VPR, showing the strength that the bears pushed it all the way down to here. And now the bulls are fighting back at the Bollinger Band, as you would expect. But we need to understand who's got control of the wider trend, and we know we can use the EMA ribbon to do that. Let's bring out the EMA ribbon, and you will see here very, very comfortably the bears are in control. You can see how my lines were drawn, right? We're going to come back up into our EMA ribbon and then be thrown to the downside. Now, in reality, again, the bears didn't allow you to even go close to your EMA ribbon. I mean, that would have been even still control of the bears if it did something like that, right? But you can see that's not what happened. Now what I'm expecting is I'm expecting some support from this level, right? You're expecting support from 18,700, but the question is for how long? And that's why you can see this line I've got drawn here. I'm expecting it to get a little bit of support. I won't get excited. I'll see it come maybe up here, have a little small relief pump in this 20 range, right? Maybe even come back to 20. And then I'm expecting the bigger push down that will finally break through the bottom of this support line, because the support line is very, very strong. And if you look at the support line here, you can see we bounce here, 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 and now we're trying to bounce again. So it's a very important support line. And therefore, I would not be surprised if we have one more bounce back up before then getting some new lower lows. So that's what I'm looking out for here on Bitcoin. No way am I looking to long right now. I mean, there is an impossibility for me to be longing right now. The bias is with the bears. The strength is with the bears. And if we look at the macro economy as well in terms of what's happening, let's take a look at the US markets. I'm going to share something really, really interesting with you, which is causing some of this tension. So you can see US markets are slightly down today. NASDAQ 0.3 to 0.38 down on the S&P, and the Dow Jones down 0.4%. Now, why is this? Well, we know that tomorrow marks the start of the FOMC meeting. That is when Jerome Powell and Fed officials sit down for 2 days, ending in a speech on Wednesday by Jerome Powell, where he will talk about his interest rate decision and why he did it. Okay, so that's what the market's looking for. It's going to be a bunch of volatility for the rest of today and tomorrow. That's normally how it happens, leading up to when Jerome Powell speaks. And we know even when Jerome Powell speaks, that doesn't always give you the trend until the couple of days after that. Now, what is the market expecting? Well, the market is expecting a 75 basis point rate hike. We've covered this. 80% of the market is expecting 75 basis point rate hike. The percentage of people who are expecting 100 basis points has ticked up slightly. This was 16% yesterday. It's climbed by 6%, which is explaining some of the redness in the market. Now, the reason some people are expecting 100 basis points is because inflation surprised to the downside. In essence, people are expecting this 8.3 reading, which we got last week, to be even lower than that. And that is one of the reasons why some people are starting to price that in. Another interesting thing to watch is this 10-year yield. Really important that we watch this. This spiked over 3.5%, and I don't think people are understanding what this means. In order to explain this, the US 10-year treasury is considered the ultimate risk-free asset, right? People invest in it as a riskless base. So if you're not getting at least 3.5% as far as these people are concerned, then there's no point. You should just put your money in the US treasury. Now, when you're seeing the markets are so suppressed, you're seeing growth stocks getting hammered, you're seeing cryptocurrencies getting hammered, you're seeing real estate struggling. Any smart investors going, hang on a second, I'm getting 3.5% per annum risk-free here on a US 10-year treasury. That is why this benchmark is so important, and why us in cryptocurrency land, we need to understand why this is important. Because, why would somebody be investing in Bitcoin, which is continuing to fall, when their alternative is a risk-free 3.5%? So we need to understand what is that opportunity cost, because this is what's stopping some of the institutions from turning risk on. Remember, we're correlated to the NASDAQ. We're correlated to those growth stocks. When the institutions and the heavy money decides to turn risk on again, when the macroeconomy starts to settle, you will see the NASDAQ start to do better. You'll start to see growth stocks do better. And we fall into that same category. Crypto falls into that same category. So we need to wait for that. If you also look at the US 10-year Treasury adjusted bond, this is where they take into account inflation. This earlier this year turned positive, and now it's sitting at 1.13. So again, reminding us that this is what Bitcoin is inversely correlated to. Similar to how we look at the Dixie, we're inversely correlated to this. The higher the yield on your 10-year treasuries tend to go, the more difficult time it is for Bitcoin. And you can see here, Goldman Sachs are bullish on real bond yields. In other words, they're expecting this 10-year yield, this orange line, to continue to climb. But as you can see, we're inversely correlated to it. We want the 10-year tips, to have a period of weakening for Bitcoin to be doing better. Okay, so that's what we need to monitor as well here. Let's go straight back into the charts. You can see Ethereum also down today 1%. But there's an interesting thing I've seen outside of Bitcoin and Ethereum, which we know Ethereum is suffering from some of the kind of aftermath of the merge. And we've spoke about them breaking down beneath their target. Let me just show you that. Let's remove the CMA ribbon. I spoke about this horizontal line at 14.15. We've officially broken down below it. So if I was a shorter, which I'm not, this would be a beautiful short to take all the way down to 835. Now, I don't expect it to go exactly there, but I expect some support to come in from 1274, which you're seeing now. But I expect us to fall into this channel. Falling below 1274 gets you into this channel with a lower band at the bottom here of 1000. So I'd be comfortable nibbling at 1000 here on Ethereum if we get the opportunity. And it looks like we are seeing some softening here to the downside on the Ethereum price. But interestingly, the message I wanted to share with you today, which is interesting, is Bitcoin dominance continues to go down. We're down 1% on Bitcoin dominance, and we're seeing altcoins actually have a positive day. You're seeing Solana up 2%, right? We're seeing Phantom up 2% and 4% against Bitcoin. Cosmos Atom up almost 9% at times today. Near Protocol 3%. Avalanche 2%. So I think what we're seeing, Algorand 7%, right? So I think what we're seeing is an interesting narrative playing out, which is people are taking this opportunity to buy the dips on their favorite, what I think are layer 1 and layer 0 solutions. If you're seeing the coins that are moving, for example, Matic is not moving as much. It's had its move recently, right? Cardano's not moving so much, even considering the Vasil handful. But you're seeing certain coins like Avalanche, like Near Protocol, Algorand, Phantom, Solana, those layer 1 type solutions, now that money is moving from ETH speculation to other layer 1s. And this is something I called upon on the day that the merge happened. I said, what next? And if you go watch that video, this is exactly what I said would be happening. Some of that speculative money is moving from Ethereum, the people that weren't holding for hugely long term, and it's starting to move into other good layer 1 solutions. Definitely a narrative I continue to keep a close eye on. These altcoins are definitely moving. Now, what's next for Bitcoin? Well, in the short term, I want to be monitoring this level, right? Do we break down from this channel? That's the key level. If we break down from this channel, that price target back down here, 17,000, 500 range. The low here, the exact, I'll give you the exact low. The exact low there was 17,567. Okay, I'm expecting that to come back into play if we lose this channel. We cannot afford to lose this channel. And the scary thing is, once we lose this channel, we start creating lower lows and lower highs. We do not want to do that. Already in this trend, you're seeing that high, you're seeing a lower high, you've got a low, and it looks like we're posting a lower low. But what would be scarier is if we start doing that on the larger time frame. We really do not want to be doing this. If I show you the weekly chart here, what we're trying to avoid at any cost is this low going lower than this low. If it falls below this low and we get a close below this 17,500 number I just shared with you, we've got our lower low. And that shows you that you continue to be in a scary, scary downtrend. So for now, on the short term, I'm expecting a little bit of relief bounce, but the bias continues to be with the bears. And I want to see if we can hold this 18,700 level. You're seeing the bulls are buying the dip right now, literally as we speak. If I just flip on over to the hourly, you're seeing big candlesticks here trying to hold this level. But is it going to be futile? Is this just the bears calling off, letting the bulls reset the RSI for them so they can come in for the next big push to the downside? One thing is for sure, we do not have any positive catalysts coming, which we're going to have to pay close attention to over the next kind of 2 days or 48 hours or so. Are we going to get that 75 basis points? That's the best thing we can hope for right now. I don't see him doing anything less than 75 basis points. 75 basis points will leave the markets feeling okay. I mean, I guess it's better than not 100 basis points, but that 100 basis points will definitely shock markets. So if we do get a surprise 100 basis points over the next 2 days, that really could spell horrible, horrible price points for Bitcoin. So stay ready. If you have conviction, sit back, dollar cost average in, know that you've got conviction. If you don't, you need to ask yourself, what are you doing? Because if you're going to panic sell, if this thing drops to 12,000, 13,000, 14,000, why would you not panic sell now when you're close to 19,000 and maybe we can get a relief pump to 20? So you guys, this is a time for introspection to ask yourselves why you invested. Do you believe in it? Do you have conviction? If this falls to 12,000, 13,000, 14,000, what are your actions going to be? Are you going to buy the dip? Are you going to look for more cash to get some more? Or are you going to panic sell and give your hard-earned coins somebody else? Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to smash on the like button and subscribe. Don't forget to go watch this video in our millionaire series here, and I'll see you in the next one.